walks. And when you look at this lineup, they outscored their opponents 31-13 last weekend. And half of that production, you're talking 18 of their hits, of their 40 hits, came from that freshman class.
Yeah, and you notice a lot of lefties, 7 of the 9 in the batting order to face Marissa McCann today in the circle for Mizzou. Sophomore out of Surprise, Arizona. 1-0 on the season. This will be her 4th start, her 5th appearance already.
Well, McCann just has a lot of different tools, and she's got great movement on that screwball in the outer half to lefties, but it's a drop ball that really rides down mid-60s. It's the changeup, though, in any count. Look at the rotation and the spin on this. It's a flip change, so it's got high spin speed as well as a variation of velocity, which you love to see. So she's mid-60s, rise ball to all 4 quadrants, but it's that knee buckling changeup that sets everything up. She'll throw it in any count to really set up the rise ball, screwball, and drop ball.
Alex Brown to lead things off. 9 hits and 7 runs scored already through their first 5 games.
She's one of those ideal leadoff hitters. Classic softball. She can lay down a bunch. Just showed it there. She's got the short game. Also a power already, a home run from last weekend.
Again, that one misses high.
We saw this last game as well. Abby Hay, the first baseman from Missouri, plays back on bunts, and a lot of these lefties looking to get a bunt down to the right side and really attack how far back she is.
That's in for a strike.
That's that changeup. That's the pitch you're going to see when she needs a strike. Doesn't matter if it's 2-0. She's going to be coming with that flip changeup that is just so effective, hard to read.
There's a rope out to right, and right at Stefania Abruscato, 1 down. John Rittman's in his 6th season. 4 trips to the NCAA tournament. Of course, no tournament played in 2020. A couple of super regional appearances. Said we're going to need some time, a few weeks here at the start of the season, to not only learn about who we are, but who we will become. And certainly the standard has been set at Clemson. You become a contender in the ACC. And look for deep runs in the postseason.
One of the biggest messages, too, is, you know, it's such a new program. It started in 2020, so really didn't even get a good start in 4 years. What he's been able to do is something he's used to. Helped start the program at Washington, Stanford.
Well, I thought it was interesting, too, because he has such a young team. When we asked him, well, who are their leaders? He said, well, like you said earlier, we're going to find out. But he's like, I don't care who it is, but someone has to lead. Someone has to step up and get it done.
Two and 1 to Jamison Brockenbrough, the transfer from Tennessee. Played 2 years with the Vols, was stellar in their run into the World Series, so she provides that experience. Got upstairs, lost her, so the 1-out walk puts Jamison on. And our first look this season at Maddie Moore, their All-American candidate who had some off-the-field things to tend to opening weekend. So she was a DNP. So back out there for the senior from Loomis, California.
Talk about all the newcomers and the absence of Valerie Cagle. She, if you're going to look to a leader, it's Maddie Moore. And especially offensively, she's returning All-American. She hit almost 410 home runs. Did not start the season, as you mentioned, which is not the way they wanted their leadership to start. Now gets an opportunity in a big weekend to prove herself.
Well, look at that. She's got the 2nd longest on-base streak. Number 1 is Valerie Cagle. She comes in at number 2. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, as a result of her absence, they've started out the season 3-2. The loser of this game will be at 500. early in this new campaign, just the second weekend of play.
It's always the case that early in the season, it's finding that consistency, trying to be in mid-season form in the first 5 to 10 games of the season is tough, especially when the team is young and experienced.
McCann trying to dial in that strike zone. She was 1-0 last weekend in her 3 starts. Former player of the year out of the state of Arizona. Got more to pop it up, and that will stay in play, but unable to haul that in was Crenshaw.
Crenshaw was a little slow getting to this going up. I think she thought it was going to be back into the crowd, and then she notices, hey, this has a possibility. Took a little bit of a round route to it. A lot of spin when that ball is coming back into the field.
Ultimately, it's Walker Madison, third base. That was down the line enough. She was right there.
Another 3-ball count. Clemson trying to follow Florida State's lead from earlier when the Seminoles put up a 3-spot in the first inning on Missouri. And the Tigers were never able to bounce back from that.
Heck of a bat right now from the senior. Her first at bat of the season. See, she keeps trying to calm herself. She gets in the batter's box. Fouled off now 4 pitches.
The corner for strike 3, and Moore caught looking. 2 down.
I think Maddie Moore thought this was potentially a little bit low. You can see it's a drop ball in the inner half. It does catch the bottom part of the knees on the corner, so really good pitch by McCann. Moore was probably sitting changer outside.
So here's Julia Noller. Already a couple of home runs, 6 hits this year, and 6 runs batted in, and that's a little chin music to greet her.
I missed a ton of time with injury last year, so really coming into her sophomore season, not a ton of experience. Talk about all the new faces in this lineup. She's really one of them.
Fort Myers. Small sample size, but the lefties have fared well against McCann through the first week of play. They hit 346 off of her. Maybe that's why there's 7 of them in the batting order today.
Yeah, she doesn't throw much inside to lefties. If you look at her chart, she's very arm side heavy to lefties.
And that's going to be the key, though, for Clemson is the rise ball. Being able to either lay off that pitch. You saw how out of the zone. That's something McCann's going to throw over 50% of the time.
One, 2. Just missed that one away. Noller jammed her a bit, and drifting back to make the catch is Langer out in center. A walk, 1 left. Missouri picking up the bats when we come back. Langer getting the call in the circle for the Tigers, the grad student transfer from Winthrop out of Evans, Georgia.
She's got a lot of great spin. You take a look at her numbers. She's done a good job of controlling those free passes. That's going to be one of the keys.
And this is the lineup she'll be facing for the Tigers. Just a couple of subtle moves in the middle of the order for Mizzou. Daly moves up, Hay moves down, but Julia Crenshaw was the lone bright spot in their loss earlier to Florida State. She had both their hits and the only one to reach base. She got on all 3 times she came up. She set the table, but nobody was able to clear it behind her. Let's see if Missouri can fix that here in their second game of the day. Cutting off the best season under Larissa Anderson's watch. They were 1 pitch away one hit away from the Women's College World Series last year in that memorable showdown in the Supers at home against Duke. And the Blue Devils prevailed, and they went to their first World Series.
Showing a little bunt from the right side after the home run in the last game. Kind of an unusual leadoff batter. We're seeing that more and more, just the best hitters at the top of the lineup. She's definitely the best hitter in this lineup, but defense playing her deep.
Whoop.
This is awkward.
That's always awkward. Takes a look at a strike.
Through the bat.
Steps back in way in the back of that batter's box, and there is ball 4. 4 times she's come up, 4 times she's been on base today. And how about the scout on Basinger?
No, Basinger has a lot of spin. She's going to be in the low 60s. She's not going to blow up past you. She's more pitch to contact using that defense. But I love the way she works the angles. And so when she's working that curveball, she does a good job of riding that pitch away from righties across the plate. She'll come back underneath the hands.
Madison Walker rips that one out to center. The throw back down to first is offline. And they had a shot at the double play, and instead it's as good as a sacrifice for Missouri as Crenshaw will take second base.
This is what we've seen a lot, first couple weeks of the season is just defensive miscues. And we saw it earlier in the last half inning in a drop fly ball. Great read, by the way, by Brockenbrough, but then throws this nowhere near first base. Ends up getting away, and then the backup not in the right place. All the stuff you're working on, that's why you do preseason tournaments. As much as you want to win these games, you're also learning how to play.
So after the line out, that's an E8 on Brockenbrough, and they have a runner in scoring position for the first time in 7 innings today. Here's Stefania Abruscato, the right fielder from New York. Had a big game against Duke last week, but has 4 strikeouts in her last 5 at-bats over the last 3 games. We talked about the lefties for Clemson. Well, Missouri and Larissa Anderson are looking for lefties like Stefania to step up. I mean, they lose Jenna Laird, Alex Honnold, Maddie Gallagher, their top 3 hitters, all from that side of the plate.
Power average.
Ground ball to short, and they go for the lead runner, and it hits Crenshaw in the back, and she's safe. And so is Abruscato at first, 2 on with 1 out.
That's a tough play for Collins because of the way that Crenshaw's going to be coming through the line. This should be an out somewhere. And you can see, I love the fact she's going after the lead runner, but you can't throw through the lane when you know that the base runner is going to be there. Or Alex Brown needs to come to the inside or up the line to give a lane for her shortstop to get the ball to her. So again, early season mistakes that you need to see ironed out.
That's one of the 4 freshmen in the lineup at short. So they're on the corners now for Kara Daly. She hit 6th earlier today, bumped her up to 4th. See if the move works out for Missouri. Senior from Jeff City. She had a home run on Tuesday against UCF. Daughter of a college softball player. Infield pop-up. Noller in foul territory, 2 down. A big get for Basinger there.
More of the same, too, from Missouri. They only had 1 ground ball the entire game against Florida State just before this. I mean, all fly balls, all strikeouts. And in that situation, you got to run on third base, less than 2 outs. You get the ball just out of the infield, on the ground, anything. Put some pressure on the defense.
And I think as to your point, Jess, it's a little bit more competitive in that situation. First and third, try to move the defense around a little bit. You put the ball on the ground, right? Clemson wasn't able to make the play. You make things happen. Those weak pop-ups are just tough. Non-productive outs.
Early conference in the circle. John Rittman has Kyle Jamison, Katie Repley, Ryan Willigman. The coaching staff, remember last year both softball and baseball were able to add a third assistant coach, which has been terrific for the student athletes. And what to do with Taylor Ebbs, the senior from Kaiser, Oregon. Provide some lefty pop. Just 3 for 16 to open up the season, but she has driven in 3. 1-1.
She was pitched away a lot in that first game. Had 2 lineouts to the left side of the field. Some good at-bats. Their senior leader, they need to get this offense going.
And a slow roller to the right side. Maddie Moore. Missed opportunity for the Tigers in the top.
Last inning, they just got to figure out a way to put runs up on the board, get that confidence up offensively, and that will take pressure off the pitching staff and the defense.
And 7 here for Clemson. This is Sam Minish, the left fielder, freshman out of Hull, Georgia, and a top 10 recruit. A couple of extra base hits to open up her career last weekend. 2 of her 4 hits.
There's a hold on the rise. Just talked about the keys of the game, and you can see the bite is there. Like, I want to swing at it, especially as a freshman coming out of high school. You can hit rise balls. These are a whole different kind when you get to Division I.
They're high fastballs usually in high school.
That's true.
So is it the movement and the miles per hour that you have to adjust to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's that late sharp break, and that's what the best pitchers in the game do. Make it look like it's a fastball or in the zone. Make it look like it's a strike when it's really a ball.
From Marissa McCann. Lifted out to left center. And that's Claire Cahalan. 1 down. So the bottom 5 in the lineup for Clemson, this is where the 4 freshmen live, including Macy Sintrom, the DP, coming up. Last weekend, 2 home runs, drove in 6.
Cintron, a 2-way player, also can pitch.
Georgia's Player of the Year last year, and one recruiting service had her #1 overall in the country. And for this freshman class at Clemson, hey, we know who graduated. We can step right in and play right away and have an impact.
I think that's also why John Rittman said it's going to take 20 to 25 games before we really figure out who we are, because they are very new.
Small sample size, but that's a pretty good start. In their first weekend to play, 1/3 of their runs, almost half of their runs batted in, and extra base hits. Takes a look at the strike. Here's the 1-2. Missed away.
It's a good take. Cam trying to expand that strike zone, try to run that curveball away from the freshman.
Tigers trying to figure out how they will use their pitching staff as well after they lost one of their aces, Lauren Krings, from a year ago. They used 3 pitchers in their first game today. McCann was primarily a reliever last year. She had 6 starts and 26 relief appearances.
She's got good stuff. They're going to need her to be strong in her starts, try to at least go twice through the lineup.
Sometimes steps into it and fouls it off.
But it would be rare for Missouri, I think, to see one pitcher complete a game.
100%.
We're seeing that kind of change, but Missouri especially, they know Loris Anderson tells the pitchers, hey, you're going to start, you're coming in the middle, and she's going to close.
Full count.
Yeah, she also calls those middle relievers bridges, you know, knowing that you're going to go in, but you're probably not going to finish either. You're going to bridge us until we get to our closer, get our last 6 outs if possible.
Citron, terrific at-bat, ends it with a base knockout to left. And the Clemson fans appreciate that.
So 2 pitches before this, she got the changeup, just barely fouled it off. This one just kind of a double clutch, able to just stay down through it enough for the barrel. This is a freshman. This is an adjustment. She almost missed it 2 pitches before, now makes that adjustment. She gets barrel on a pitch that's below the knees, 2 strikes to get a knock.
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. That's probably ball 4, but instead drives it through that 5-6 hole. Outstanding hitting.
So the right-hander gets aboard, and now a stretch of 5 straight lefties coming up. Another one of the rooks, Marion Collins. Out of Marietta, Georgia. They did well recruiting in Georgia this offseason. Another former Georgia Player of the Year.
These freshmen familiar with each other, so they come in as teammates now. They played against each other in high school, travel ball.
On the line and foul. ACC looking to go 2-0 against the SEC early in this tournament. Kentucky did pick up a win for the SEC. The Cats beat Wichita State earlier. Those are the only 2 games that have completed so far. Florida State had the big win over Missouri moments ago. Seminoles looking really good. They hit 4 home runs from 4 different guys, including Issa Torres, who had a home run and a bunt single in back-to-back at-bats. Collins waits on that and delivers right back up the middle. 2 on with 1 out.
Well, that's another changeup. Marissa right now is not really selling this pitch, and Clemson has done a very good job of going downstairs and getting it. Look at the way she's going to go down and barrel this up, pepper right back up the middle. So Collins able to drive this back up the middle. So the 2 freshmen not fooled by the changeups, being able to get on base. McCann just needs to sell that pitch a little bit more.
Well, and perhaps that's what Larissa Anderson spotted. She's fabulous with the pitching staff. She wanted to first know what her catcher saw, the veteran Crenshaw, before going out to talk to McCann.
And I think these batters have an idea it's coming too, whether they're seeing it out of the hand or something's being called from the dugout. But you can tell as this game, it's just this inning has progressed. They're not fooled by the changeup, and they were early on in this inning.
So Abby Vieira is the senior catcher from Mission Viejo, and she will step in with an RBI opportunity right here, looking for her first RBI of the season. Missouri already has some activity in its bullpen. Natalie Touche All hands on deck today for their doubleheader. Back-to-back singles, so 2 on with 1 out. Looking to break a scoreless tie. And McCann stays outside. John Rittman calls her the quarterback of their defense. And now looking to wake that bat up a little bit. Pitch count already pushing 40 for McCann. Flips the corner. Definitely looking to get Vieira to reach here.
Continue to stay all on that arm side of the plate.
And foul into the bullpen.
Comes back inside, but that ball's still a little bit sweet. Need to really work that a little bit tighter into those lefties.
Pitch. And another 3-ball count. With the number 9 hitter on deck, another lefty freshman, Ava Wilson, who has a hit in her last 3 at-bats, dating back to their last game. Vieira fights one off. It's already 4 3-ball counts now through the first couple of innings. Nice look here at the field in Clearwater. Eddie C. Moore Softball Complex.
You can just tell right now, Marissa McCann just doesn't have that out pitch. She's not able to fool hitters, get the miss hit.
Because they took away the changeup. Yeah. I mean, at least you're changing speeds. You have a ability to be able to change your velocity. But right now, she stayed away from the changeup because they've been hitting it. Now they just foul everything off.
Up and in, and the bases are loaded for Ava Wilson in the 9 spot. Four RBI in 4 games for Ava. Second free pass.
Defense in now for Missouri.
Wilson fouls off the first offering. Cintron with a single, Collins with a single. Vieira draws the walk. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Nice pitch down in the zone. This is the position she needed to be in to try to take control of this at-bat.
Stays away from the rise. 1-2.
For Ava Wilson, too, and so many opportunities. She puts the ball on the ground. I mean, infield way in. I mean, everyone's pretty much even with the pitcher. So put the ball on the ground, a fast ground here.
This next one now will be the 30th pitch of this inning for McCann, and 50 now already through the first couple of innings as Touche continues to warm in the bullpen.
She's done a good job last couple of batters getting to that 2-strike mark, but then Clemson's been very good at fouling off pitches, looking at pitches out of the zone.
Wilson drives that one back to the track, to the wall. Grand slam! Ava Wilson for Clemson. That just kept going and going.
Ava Wilson, the freshman, we talked about battling and how McCann would get to 2 strikes but didn't have an out pitch. She goes back to the changeup, and this is an off-speed. Look at where she's at. She is off balance. She is way out in front of this ball. But you know what? She stays through it. She gets her hands around her barrel through and just drives that out of the yard. At first, it looks like it's going to stay in, but that ball with a lot of carry, a grand slam for the freshman out of the 9-hole.
You see how excited, a first home run of her career and a huge one from that 9 spot. 2 strikes, battled off all the pitches. All the hits in that inning coming on the changeup.
My first inkling off the bat was, well, that should be deep enough to drive a run in. And then it just kept going.
Drove all for it.
Oh my God. Look at the flag in right field. It is blowing straight out, and she caught into that wind.
From the 9 spot in the order at a 4-0 Clemson lead. Brown, that one will stay in the yard. 2 down.
But it goes back to that 1-2, count. She gave up a changeup to Collins, hit on a 1-2 count, so just not being able to figure out a way to miss it, to get some sort of an out. There it is, the freshman continuing to get the job done for Clemson Tigers.
That is the 5th home run in 8 innings for Missouri's pitchers today. And here's Brockenbrough dropping it down perfectly.
Brockenbrough, another one of those hitters they got to respect. You got to be able to play her deep, but just a beautiful job. You see that left hand come up the barrel, able to dead miss the ball. I mean, that is a base hit all day long. You can't defend that.
So a chance for Maddie Moore. Struck out looking at the drop ball her first time up. Golfs that one out to right. Back, that goes to the track, and at the wall, it's out of the glove of Abrascato. And a run will come in to score.
We talked about the ball carrying. This is definitely just a fly ball that keeps going, but for Abrascato, she's got to know where the wall is. And you see, as she's catching it, the wall kind of catches her by surprise, knocks the ball out of her glove, a ball that she knows she can catch. Ends up turning into a triple, and another run scored for Clemson.
Brockenbrough on the run with 2 outs. She comes in to score on the Moore RBI triple. This Clemson Tiger team is scoring runs in bunches. This is the 3rd game in a row that they have had a 5-run inning. Triggered by the Ava Wilson grand slam. 5 hits coming from 5 different players. Noller laces one out to center. And on the run, Langer able to hold on to end the inning as all 9 came to the plate, and this was the big swing.
The Froshies, the first 3 hits of this game, all the freshmen. The big one, though, Ava Wilson. How about this? Keep this ball. First home run of your career, and it's a granny to put Clemson up.
Preseason poll. So there you get a look. Stanford plugged in there at 4 and Cal at 5. Of course, with the breakup of the Pac-12. Cal, one of the 5 different national champions in the Pac-12, and now they have separated around the country, including a UCLA team that is here in Clearwater and now a member of the Big Ten Conference.
It's going to take a bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, get used to, especially the Pac teams that have now spread across, because it's hard to wrap your mind around, okay, they're going to be playing games on the East Coast, league games.
It's going to be a little bit easier for UCLA, Washington, and Oregon because they are playing against each other. So one of their away trips will still be West Coast.
Similar,
I think they only have to travel east once and to the Midwest once in their road games. So, but for Stanford and Cal, there's going to be a lot of travel.
Well, part of the ACC agreement is that those teams would not be coming west only one time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're on the road.
The newness of all that, right? All the newness of the travel, new cities, new ballparks. I mean, for a lot of these clubs, it's going to be an adjustment. Coaches and coaches.
Stanford will spend 10 straight days on the East Coast in March.
You look at football and basketball, it has been very difficult. Moving in both directions, I should say. It's not going to be easy for the East Coast teams to go out to the West either. Very limited success for those road trips if you're coming all the way east or going all the way west. So keep an eye on that through softball season. But Florida State has a win already today. Clemson working on one, 5-0 over Missouri. For the Tigers, they've allowed 14 runs, the Missouri Tigers, all of them earned so far today as Hay draws the walk. How about some college hoops for you? How about this women double dip? Our Sonic Blockbuster, along with College Game Day down at South Carolina. They'll try and bounce back from a loss to Texas, taking on Paige Beckers and the UConn Huskies, who need a Q1 win in a big way. And then it's LSU and Texas. Doubleheader on ABC on Sunday, and then Sunday night, our softball doubleheader. Right here from Clearwater.
Sunday night softball.
Yes, Alabama, Oklahoma State, and Florida State, UCF. Infield pop off the bat of Sophie Smith. One down.
Well, and that's right now the way things are going for Missouri. They're popping up non-productive outs. They had the opportunity in the first inning to set the tone of this game with 2 runners on base, one of which was at third. Just tell they're kind of scuffling so far, and then it bleeds over into the bottom of the inning. Top of the inning, I should say, for Clemson.
Down on the shoelaces to Kaylee Langer.
Abby Vieira keeping the ball in front of her.
Another conversation with Reese Basinger. Got out of trouble in that first inning after a walk and an error. They left a couple on. And now the leadoff walk to Hay, followed by the pop out. Langer out of Liberty, Missouri, starting in the outfield for the second year in a row. And that hitter, just as I was about to say, she led the SEC with the most hit by pitches last year with 22.
You were not going to say.
I swear to God, I got that written down right
there. Rolling it right out. And you can see the way that she leans over just a little bit. It goes off the edge of the Evo shield. And sometimes those arm guards hang down a little bit below the elbow.
Wear them loose.
Yeah.
Dropping down the butt, jumps over the glove of Basinger. Play at the plate, not in time as Hayes slides in safely.
Allen just doing a good job of getting this bunt down, gets it past Basinger. Maddie Moore vacates her position to go cover, and so you can see that getting the green light to come all the way around, keeps that momentum going. Back of the dish, slides in, puts the first run of the day up for Missouri. Second run of the day.
So the leadoff walk proves to be costly. And it's the first hit for someone other than Julia Crenshaw, who now steps into the batter's box. Generating a run with a walk, a hit batter, and then the infield single. And now you've got a chance to really make some noise. She has reached all 4 times she's come up in their 2 games today. Back to the top of the order here for Missouri. Corner for a strike, 2-2.
Nice adjustment by Basinger coming back inside to Crenshaw in the lower half.
Right back up the middle. Waving the runner in. The throw to the plate. Offline. And Langer comes in to score. And on the throw to the plate, the runners will advance, and now you got 2 more in scoring position and 2 on the board.
We gave credit to Clemson, and now Missouri, 2 strikes. Just a really good job staying back, staying through. This is exactly what you want to do with this pitch, right up the middle. And another throw from Brockenbrough coming from the outfield offline, had a chance to actually throw out the runner Langer at home. You see it comes up the line, ends up being a really easy score for Missouri.
That's a curveball that doesn't get out of the zone. It gets peppered right back up the middle. And Crenshaw, man, just continuing her perfect day.
Not sure why Vieira didn't come in front of the plate to try and field that one. It skirts away from her, perhaps bothered by the base runner sliding right in front of her. So now runners on second and third. 1 out for Madison Walker. Hard hit ball her first time up. Big day continues for Julia Crenshaw with the RBI single. And this rally generated by the bottom of their lineup. Now the top trying to do the damage. 1-2.
Nice pitch on the inner half, sets that up with an off speed. Comes back in hard, using that effective velocity.
Will get over the screen and out of play. A nice grab. A two-handed scoop.
Parents and the coming out. Holly Rose already on the scene. Ava Wilson's first home run and everything pops.
That's going to score at least one. They'll hold the runner at third. And now a rundown situation between first and second. rescue there for Clemson.
Well, yeah, Clemson should have run that a little bit differently.
Should have ran it back at her. Because the base runner at third was pretty much staying on the bag.
Changeup on the outer half, and Walker's just going to get around it so that changeup doesn't fool her, peppers it into left field. The throw coming home, obviously not going to get the second runner. But this is where the mistake is, and so Brockenbrough is going to come in from center.
This is Maddie Moore with the ball.
Brockenbrough they try to give her the ball to run. You need the pitcher. Basinger is behind the dish. Basinger needs to go into the circle, not the center fielder, Brockenbrough.
And that's the senior Maddie Moore, who is playing in her first game this year. Remember, she did not play last weekend. And no attempt to run the base runner back towards first base. And Missouri takes advantage.
So
Cahalan scores.
Yep.
So it's 5-3. And now the tying run at second base. The go-ahead is at the plate. Here's Abrascato. Jamner, flare out to left, and that will drop in, and two will score. And Missouri ties it up with a 5 spot of their own here in the bottom of the second.
They just look like a different team, more aggressive. And yes, some of these hits, hard hits, some of them bunt singles. But this one, I mean, it's just because they're more aggressive. Off the end of the bat, but they're making something happen. Plops in, perfect spot. You're talking 2 runners in scoring position. Couldn't ask better chip shot to be able to easily score 2 runs.
Fourth run-scoring hit in a row from their 9-1-2-3 hitters. And now Cara Daly has a chance to give them the lead after Clemson scored 5 in the top half of the inning. What a response. And it started with a walk.
Things that give pitching coaches great. Put the 5 spot up, you got to come out and hammer that zone. But we've seen it today. I mean, a lot of these pitchers have struggled with the out pitch. They've done a good job getting to 2 strikes and then just can't figure out a way to induce the ground ball, the pop up, the swing and miss.
On the defense playing behind you too. I mean, that's a big part of it, is you want to have confidence to throw strikes, knowing if you're a pitch to contact pitcher, that your D behind you needs to make the plays, get the outs.
Gets the swing and miss down and in. 2 outs.
Well, this is a good pitch, a nice location, good spin speed as well as pitch speed on this. You can see the way that screwball is going to ride underneath the hands of Daly. She does get that out pitch.
First strikeout of the game, and now the 9th batter to come to the plate. Taylor Ebbs. Ground out to second base, her first time up. That go-ahead run, Abrascato down at second. Opposite, and snared by a ground. Saves a run right there, but 5 in the top half for Clemson and 5 in the bottom half for Missouri. Lots of emotion triggered by the bottom of their order to start this rally, and we are back to square.
More aggressive at the plate, put the ball in play. They did just that to put up a 5 spot in response to Clemson's 5.
So we go to the third after a 45-minute inning. It's going to be fun throughout the season. Oklahoma's been favorites for the last 3 or 4 years, and they're going to try and win a 5th straight national championship this year, but it'll be a different look, and they don't start out the season #1. Texas and Florida are both up there as well. both joined the SEC, which is just going to be a crazy run through that term. You could be playing 20, 21 games in your own conference against ranked teams.
They're going to be excited to get like into the postseason.
Yeah.
Just get me out of the conference.
Minish fouls it off. So how about that last inning by the numbers? As both teams sent 9 batters to the plate. So 18 batters, 10 runs, 9 hits in that second inning. Little Tiger love.
Bad inning being circled.
Smitty's cringing.
I am cringing.
And a strikeout of Minish. That's the second for McCann. 1 down.
McCann trying to settle back in. First out of the inning, we talked about what is important and its ability to have that out pitch, get that first batter of the inning out. That's a rise ball at the top of the zone that McCann gets the call on.
Strikeout today with a rise and a drop. And here is Macy Cintron. She got the rally started with a single last inning. So really, the run production triggered by the bottom of both lineups.
And the freshmen. Yeah.
The freshmen for
3
Clemson.
hits. Yep. The bottom of the lineup, all the Frashies.
Well, impressive that the first 2 of them came off of changeups, not fooled by it. A little bit there, so I'm wondering if
Have we seen much since of the change?
No, well, not later on in that inning, except for the home run. So she went away from it after giving up the 2 hits, and then went back to it trying to get the swing and miss. The freshman hits it out of the yard, and Wilson, but she's coming back to it now, which tells me that they either worked with her and told her to speed up her body, or if they were picking it off of her hand. But to me, I think she was showing it a little bit early with just her body. Her body was a little bit slow. You could see it timing-wise up here. And that's the one pitch. You've got to sell it. You've got to accelerate through release. If you don't, hitters just have that nuance to be able to hit it.
It's a hard pitch to sell, though. I mean, you're trying to eliminate velocity, especially now. You really want to pull that string, and to do that, a lot of pitchers feel like they need to change their body. It's the first thing I always notice as a hitter is, okay, if something's coming at me crazy, it's usually going to be an off-speed pitch.
Foul tip back into the catcher's glove. 2 down.
And now with a little bit of energy, a couple of strikeouts back-to-back here, really starting to spin the ball a little bit better. This one's a late hoppy rise, top of the zone, gets a foul tip back. Good job by Crenshaw behind the dish to complete that strikeout.
How about the response of McCann?
Yeah.
5-spot last inning, comes right back, 2 strikeouts. The momentum of her team responding. I mean, that lifts you up.
So here's the 3rd freshman in a row, Marion Collins. They all got in on the act in that rally in the second. Fly ball out to left center, and under it is Kaylee Langer. How about the response from McCann? A 1, 2, 3 inning. Out there for the Clemson Tigers.
Macy Cintron, saw her with the bat. Already has a hit on the day, comes in to pitch. First time in this tournament. Talked about this freshman class. Now we're going to get to see it in the circle.
6, 7, and 8 coming up. She'll face the veteran Abby Hay. And for Cintron, her 3rd appearance, she's thrown 6 innings. Has a win already on the resume. Hoping they can limit the damage to just that 1 inning. Remember, John Rittman was telling us this week, you know, in each of the losses, they just seem to have a bad inning where things don't go their way. And it certainly was that in the bottom of the second after they lost the 5-0 lead and Missouri tied them up. Hay walked to start that rally, and she opens up the next frame as well. Cintron misses outside. Has also spent some time with the Puerto Rican junior national team. And that is the second walk drawn for Abby Hay.
Cintron has that good velocity. She's got a rise ball, drop ball. She also throws screwball and a changeup, but she is young. She's figuring it out, and a lot of times it's just reps. It's getting time in that circle, and coach likes what he sees about her and the versatility that she does hit. He can use her in and out of the lineup as well as the circle. Just a matter of getting the freshman some time in that circle.
They are going to go to a pinch runner here. Hay can re-enter. And let's see, that looks like Addie Kohler. That's a go-ahead run right here. And now Sophie Smith popped up her last time up. Freshman out of Spring, Texas. Looking to advance the runner, and she will. Vieira tried to get her at second. Too much speed from Kohler and a couple aboard with nobody out.
That's a great jump by Kohler, too, being able to read as soon as this bunt is down, because you see the bunt is deadened, but it's right in front of home plate. Normally, this is a definitely automatic out at second base, but because of the jump by Kohler, reading it down, able to sneak in at second.
So a chance to take the lead here with a base knock. Lenger, she'll drop down the bunt as well. The play over to first, and it gets away, and a run will score. And again, a leadoff walk damaging as the Tigers go small ball.
Well, and that's a slow developing play because Maddie Moore is a little bit late getting to first base. You can see the way that the Tigers run this. Look at the way Maddie Moore in this position right here. She's a little bit late, and the throw from Cintron, her feet aren't quite set up, and because Moore's momentum is going to first, she can't take the throw back inside the line. So a defensive miscue, little bit of a mental side of that, not getting to the bag on time, as well as the throwing error puts Clemson a little bit on the heels here in this game.
Yeah, so they're going to score that, a sacrifice and an E1. So a couple of errors for Clemson defensively, as well as a mental miscue the last inning. 10 of 13 unearned runs scored off of errors, walks, and hit batters. And both the second and third innings start with a walk, and that base runner comes in to score. And now Missouri has erased a 5-0 deficit to take the lead. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And it's the number 9 hitter, Claire Cahalan. RBI single in the last inning. Runner goes, and they'll give it to her. Lenger down to second. And that's Smith over at third. Oh, the runner was coming from third. Yeah, squeeze on.
Why not? The 2 bunts have worked already in this inning. Both those sacrifices, trying to make the freshman work in the circle, just with her pitching, but also the defense.
Well, that's got the Clemson defense thinking a little bit. Cintron delivers. 1-2.
That's close to the zone.
2-2. Cahalan to short. The throw to home, and now they've caught Smith in a rundown, and the tag applied, and they get the lead runner for the first out of the inning. Well executed that time by the Clemson defense.
Good job by Collins with that throw, immediately going back to Vieira. And I like the way that they run this. You can tell the communication back and forth between Brown, Vieira, and most importantly, running the runner back toward third, not toward home plate.
They also did not allow Lenger to try and sneak in behind at third base. So runners at first and second with one out, and back to the top of the order in Crenshaw. Nobody's been able to keep her off the bases in the 2 games today. She's reached base 5 times against 3 different pitchers.
Beautiful pitch. After coming up and in, she wanted to call the strike. It was a ball, but it definitely created the setup for that 53-mile-per-hour changeup.
Both Crenshaw and Larissa Anderson, I think, trying to ascertain where that pitch was in the strike zone. One, two. Crenshaw got under that one, drifting into foul territory, now back into fair play. And the catch is made by Minish, runners unable to advance 2 down.
First time Crenshaw's been out this tournament. Her 6th at bat. She's still upset at the call, yelling on her way back, and it was the changeup to set up the next pitch just to jam her enough to get her out.
So here's Madison Walker, RBI single her last time up. 2 on with 2 outs. In the dirt, Vieira with a nice block.
She has been absolute nails behind the plate. I mean, dealing with a freshman pitcher and nerves, all the different things. You could tell she was set up to go away, ends up a ball in the dirt in.
Walker out in front there. Missed it down, 2-1. Plate discipline. Almost went after the rise.
Cintrano, just the freshman, you can tell she's trying to do a little bit too much with that pitch. On a 2-1 count, you're throwing a rise ball at the top of the zone. It's more about finessing that pitch, trying to get a swing and miss. Something hard up is going to be laid off to go to 3-1.
Full count. Runners will bolt with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Full count. Walker right down the line, and an easy step on the bag for Alex Brown. Couple stranded, 3 and Clemson. As we check out our game track, brought to you by Evo Shield, a 5-run inning for both Clemson and Missouri in the 2nd. And then the Tigers from Como able to grab the lead in the bottom of the 3rd as we head to the 4th inning. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe, and our cast of hundreds in year number 6 here in Clearwater for this fabulous kickoff to our college softball coverage on the road to the Women's College World Series. for the 43rd time. And when we get to Oklahoma City, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, it'll be the 20th year of a championship series since Michigan won the very first one in 2005. Rumor is there might even be a Coach Hutch sighting at some point this weekend.
What?
I don't know.
All the celebrities.
Who's enjoying their retirement more than her?
She's playing golf. A lot of golf.
It's been a terrific start, to the entire season. How about the showdown already? Jordy Ball and Nyjah Kennedy when Texas Tech played Nebraska last weekend.
Right here on this field.
Right on this field.
And everyone thought Kennedy would be pitching. That was kind of the hype, and it was Kennedy hitting. Home run off of Jordy Ball.
And a double. She's 2 for 3.
All right, here's the 1-1. Vieira takes. Walked scored back in that big second inning. Jammed her. Daly back on the grass, has it. And here comes the grand slammer, Ava Wilson, from that second inning.
Wilson, see how she was pitched in that second inning. They're going to stay all away from her, so it's a foul ball. She's going to swing and miss. So she goes 0-2, but battles back, rise out of the zone. Again, outside, fouling it off. Another ball, fouls it off. The freshman just hanging tough. And then how about the changeup on the outer half? Looks like she's off balance and bashes it out of the yard. First collegiate home run, and it's a grand salami.
We got a sister that's a pitcher from the ACC in Florida State, Emma Wilson.
Yeah, Emma just graduated for the Seminoles, and this time they get Wilson to fly out. Couldn't take as much advantage of the breeze is actually up to getting windy now, blowing out to right field.
Advantage to the lefties.
Yeah, 2 down, back to the top of the order, and a couple more lefties to go.
It'll be interesting to look at the home runs on field 8 versus field 9. On field 9, the wind is blowing in from left field. So
pitchers go over there.
That's right.
And for Marissa McCann, is retired now the last 6 in a row.
Well, she's definitely fixed her changeup. That last pitch coming in 49 miles an hour, changeup low in the zone. You can tell that Clemson hasn't quite been able to ID it.
Tips the corner. 1-1.
Retiring 5 in a row, too, after that big 5-run inning. Interview with head coach John Rittman coming up. Put on the headset for us. Talk a little bit about that inning, but for McCann to be able to come back now, utilizing that rise ball, her best pitch.
Clemson, the preseason poll, picked to finish 7th in the ACC. Missouri 9th in the SEC. So, chance for both these clubs to sneak up on some folks in these uber competitive conferences.
Nice pitch up in the zone as well, but McCann starting to play with the velocities of that rise ball as well. You can see way out in front of that. A lot of pitchers starting to throw that spinning off speed rise.
And it gets under the glove of Sophie Smith. She stayed back on that, and it ate her up.
Pitch on the outer half. This is the one you got to go get. Freshman Sophie Smith just backing up just a little bit. And getting that experience. You could see she kind of started with her body to go forward and then took those 2 steps back. And when you let the ball play you, that's when the errors go up on the board.
E4. Base runner here with 2 outs. Jamison Brockenbrough. A walk and a bunt single and a run scored. Tying run aboard for Clemson. We've got more college basketball coming your way on Saturday. And how about that matchup to lead things off at 4 Eastern? Number 1 versus number 2 in the Sonic blockbuster, Alabama and Auburn. Followed by the Cuse and Carolina, and then Kentucky, Texas. Saturday's triple header on ESPN Men's College Hoops. We got softball coming your way all weekend long on the ESPN networks. Clemson and Auburn coming up next year on ESPN2. Tomorrow, big games, Oklahoma State, UCLA, and Florida State, Ohio State. We'll check out the Buckeyes and their new head coach, Kieran Kumar. Successful at Miami of Ohio. Can she do it in Columbus? Throwdown not in time. Saturday, how about Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, and UCLA, Alabama?
Let's go.
Ooh. Wow. Sunday night's showcase is Alabama, Oklahoma State. Rockenbro taking all the way at 3-0.
Starting to see some of these lefties crowd McCann a little bit more. Somebody talked about McCann really staying arm side and away to these lefties. Didn't really have a pitch to get in, and they're making those adjustments.
Rockenbro, that could be trouble, and on the run and diving to make the catch is Cahalan. Side retired and a web gem out in left field, Doza.
Claire Cahalan. We're talking about the reads, of course, off the bat, but how about just laying it out, end the inning, taking away a hit. It's been all about the defense in the outfield, robbing home runs and making diving catches.
In the Tiger Orange and Regalia jerseys this afternoon.
Knowing him so well, too, it's like, okay, but the errors, but the defense. You know, but we love the grand slam and the runs, but...
Well, it's the routine, right? A lot of coaches will say, you know, the really big things are wonderful, but what wins games is the routine, throwing strikes, fielding ground balls, and timely hitting.
It's a lot of times when you can tell it's new faces. You know, it's kind of getting your feet wet. And heart rate's higher than it's ever been.
3-4-5 coming up here. Abrascado's reached twice. Had a 2-run single in the second.
It's always those years when there's a lot of young faces. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's like, buckle up. It's going to be some whoop-de-woos.
Schmitty always good at bringing the technical terms.
Whoop-de-woos 3. New stat line.
That's right.
Facing Macy Cintron. For Clemson, I mean, Coach talked about it being a reset year after the graduation of Val Cagle, the best player in school history, former National Player of the Year and All-American, who did it in the circle and at the plate. So some holes to fill, find those players in this freshman class and move forward. Another leadoff on base for Missouri. That's been part of their story, certainly in that big second inning.
3 consecutive leadoff walks now, second, third, and fourth inning.
Well,
the biggest thing, too, for Missouri is we're seeing them shorten their swings. They're going to the short game more, putting the ball in play. Their earlier game against Florida State, they had the one home run, but everything else was big swings, fly ball outs, strikeouts.
17 chances today to advance runners. They've made good on 10 of those. And another one right here.
Well, I feel like the lion's share of those were probably in that second inning when they did plate those 5 runs.
A pop-up and a strikeout for Daly. The only strikeout for Clemson pitchers so far today. Runner goes, hit and run is on, executed. Now the Abruscato will hold at second. And a couple on board with nobody out.
That's really good execution of the and run. This one happens to be the hit and run. This ball kind of leaks back into the zone, and because of that, Daly's able to get around it. Collins slightly up the middle. And so Missouri trying to get things cooking here again in this 4th inning.
Taylor Ebbs. She gets a hold of one. That's going to find some grass. All the way back to the fence. One is in. Here comes Daly heading around third. 2 runs across off the bat of Taylor Ebbs.
That was a double by Taylor Ebbs.
Talk about those short swings. Look at Taylor Ebbs, just a beautiful job. This is a pitch down below the knees, starting to tail away, but she does a nice job. Back knee to the ball, stays through it. The best swing that we've seen from Missouri. We've seen a lot of hits and a lot of runs. A smooth double, score, plate, another run.
She is now the 7th different batter to drive in a run from Missouri today at an 8-5 lead. And here's Abby Hay. Couple of walks, scored twice.
Well, and after that loss to Florida State in between games, you know, they pulled this coaching staff from Missouri pulled the team together, and I'm sure they just said, look, offensively, we need to reset. We need, what are we attacking? What are we going after? Again, the
runner will advance.
The 2 non-negotiables that Jeff Cottrell really talked about is rhythm and getting that front side down, which they did not do well in either department against Florida State. They've been better at that here against these Clemson pitchers.
See if Anderson, does she want to pinch runner down at third? They have tried a suicide squeeze once today. Foul ball. And so this will be Sanaya Hill, who we saw briefly at third base defensively in their first game today.
Then running in third, number 31, Sanaya Hill.
Missed it inside, 3-0. Look at the difference. From 2 for 19 to 6 for 16, and a lot of small ball, a lot of bunts that turned into some fielders' choices that still advanced runners.
They've done a good job of making sure that they're capitalizing on the free passes. 4 walks, a hit by pitch.
3 of the 4 walks come in to score.
As well as the hit by pitch, yeah. So they're doing a good job of when they're getting on base, being able to punch those free passes across.
And that is ball 4. Three walks for Hay today. She has been already lifted for a pinch runner, so if they want her to stay in the game, she's got to stay and run for herself over at first. There is still nobody out now. Runners on the corners. 2 runs in and an 8-5 lead. Here's Sophie Smith. Eight unanswered runs for Missouri after they fell behind 5-0 in the second inning. Hay will take second base on the wild pitch. Things coming undone a bit here for Clemson. They may be close to another pitching change. Brooke McCubbin was out in the bullpen. She's come into the dugout.
Good job by Vieira keeping that ball in front of her. You could tell sometimes where she's setting up, she's getting crossed up a little bit. Ball's in the dirt, rise ball's out of the zone.
Showing all the range, blocking balls, jumping up.
Ground ball to short, backhanded by Collins. She'll make the play to first. Runners will have to hold one down.
The next batter is center fielder, Haley Lane.
Here's the number 8 hitter, Kaylee Langer. Run scored on her last at-bat when she dropped down a bunt and forced a throwing error on the pitcher. Also hit by a pitch and scored in that big second inning. Fly ball down the line and left. Runner will tag from third, throw way off line. And on a shallow fly ball, Smith able to drive in a run. It's the first sacrifice fly RBI of the season for Missouri, and it's now 9-5.
It's also the third throw that's been way offline. You saw how strong of a throw Sam Minish has in left field.
Putting that pinch runner Hill in really was the reason they were able to score on that shallow fly to left.
Good substitution. So 3 runs in the inning, and it's another big inning against Clemson.
And jetting to the Tigers, number 21, Amy Sokolowski.
And Hay, on that errant throw to home, is able to take third base.
It's crazy, too, how much it changes because the lack of offensive production in Missouri, when Clemson went up 5-0, you kind of felt like, all right, this is the game. I mean, they've got this. Missouri firing back immediately now, 4 more runs.
Here's Hayden Sokolowski, the transfer from Oklahoma State, who has been with the Cowgirls for 2 trips to the World Series. Out of Flower Mound, Texas. Mom Kelly was a softballer. Another ground ball to short and over to first. And Noller had to hang on to that one to end the inning. 9-5 Missouri. Maddie Moore leading things off for the Tigers on the other side. Conference, Oklahoma and Florida will have SEC championships, ACC championships, Big 12 championships, the American championships, and then, of course, every pitch for you of the NCAA tournament and the Women's College World Series.
There's a championship for them.
19 years together.
Amazing.
Only 3 or 4 fistfights that I recall.
That you won all of.
No blood was ever drawn. Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rowe.
Actually, I think Holly Rowe won all of them.
Yes.
And she said, right now she's in the booth with us, she said blood was drawn.
Blood.
well, she's the most competitive of all of us, so.
Only at the bar after the game. That's
No, at the game of Irk, trust me.
Oh, yeah. Good times had by all, and it all starts right here. Second week of the season, and we've got wall-to-wall coverage for you here in Clearwater. 40 games in 4 days. Even putting some on Disney Plus this year. Over 3,000 games that would be streamable this season. Over 200 will be on national television for you. Waits on that, drives Daly back, and the throw just does get her.
Great job by Daly, usually at the corner, and she's going to go back into that 5-6 hole and throw off balance, but enough on this arm. Look at the way she's going to go back. Really set that right side.
Nice.
Yeah, she's getting some love from McCann. She loves it.
Great play.
Oh, man, a really good play. And again, we talked earlier, Jess, about the little bit of a defensive conundrum that Missouri had. They've got three really good third basemen, no real shortstops. Everyone's trying to figure out, settle in here early in this season.
And if you're just joining us from the baseball side of things, quite common around youth softball that outfielders will play different outfield positions, infielders, a lot of versatility in where they play.
Well, everyone seems to be a shortstop coming in.
Yeah.
Being able to be versatile as a player.
Well, and with softball, because we have re-entry rules, you have the ability to play multiple positions. In baseball, it's very different. You're out, you're done for the day. And in softball, the more positions you can play, the more your pitchers can hit. It truly opens up the lineup card for your coaching staff.
Noller. Couple of fly balls out to center field her first two times up. There's Olivia Duncan out to the Clemson bullpen. Noller, that's a rope, but right at Abruscato. Hey, it's the Four Nations Face-Off continuing tonight with our first game on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Time to wave the flag a little bit. USA taking on Finland. That comes your way from Montreal at 8 Eastern. Coverage, though, drops with the point at 7 o'clock. Two down for Sam Minish. Fly out to left and a strikeout looking at a rise ball. All 5 of their runs coming in that second inning. They've been quiet since. McCann has retired 9 of 10. That 10th reached only because of an error. Check swing, pop up, and in and out of the glove of Langer, and that one will drop.
Great effort. We've seen so many balls just continue to carry. This one just dies. It's a check swing coming off the bottom Minish, and just that last minute hesitation, a great effort. She turns her glove over the other way. She catches that.
Yeah, exactly, Jess. If she has that web up instead of down.
They're going to score to hit. Singtron, a single and a strikeout. They're part of that big second inning. We'll chat with Missouri's head coach, Larissa Anderson, coming up. And a called strike 3 from McCann. One rough inning, but otherwise solid in the circle. Tigers, the bats are starting to bang. 9-5 Mizzou. With the 5th for Clemson. And it's Brooke Malanchuk, the transfer from Louisiana Tech, the grad student from Canada. Down ball pitcher's got a good off speed. This will be her 3rd appearance of the season. Third pitcher of the day for Clemson.
And a bunt attempts, too, from the right side from Missouri. Julia Crenshaw, the home run hitter from the first game. That's kind of been the success.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in the first with a home run. She thought she should have still been perfect. There was a questionable strike call in her mind in her last at-bat. That led to a fly out. That's the corner, 3-1. Strike 2.
3-0.
Out to shallow center on the run, and that will drop in front. Crenshaw going to try for 2, and she's in there, sliding in safely. Dropped in front of Brockenbrough.
Just gets this off the end of the bat, and Brockenbrough gets a great jump, but unable to keep this in front of her, which is what's allowed it to be a double. I almost thought she had this. She gets a little bit more reach. It would have been a Sports Center type catch. Goes down as a double in the books, though. Another big day, Julia Crenshaw.
Next batter, Casey's Madison Walker.
2 for 3 now in the game. So back-to-back multi-hit outings for Crenshaw, and here's Madison Walker, who had an RBI single back in the second. 5 in the second, 1 more in the third, and then 3 in the fourth. And they have led off all 5 innings with a base runner today.
Well, that's what they needed after really struggling against Florida State. I think it's always the response, right? You get pushed down, you hit the dirt. How high are you going to bounce? And this has been a pretty good bounce back from Missouri.
Yeah, coaches have, they talk about staying even keeled. Jammed her, and that will drop in front, and ooh, almost got nasty for Maddie Moore right there. Able to record the out at first, and that will bump Crenshaw over to third.
And it's kind of been the story from Missouri. Not a lot of hard contact. We've seen kind of one hard hit that made it to the fence. Everything else, moving runners, putting the ball in play, taking advantage of some defensive miscues for Clemson.
Yeah, and really, if you go back to that couple of those innings, some of the defensive decision making, so maybe not physical errors, but the decisions, the error behind the dish, trying to get the lead runner at second when it was questionable, maybe picking up the out at first, completely changed the complexion of the inning. But it's early, you want to see your kids be aggressive, but
That was a hard shot, and fighting the sun all the way to make the catch is Wilson. But that'll drive Crenshaw in, so the sac fly for Abruscato makes it 10-5.
And that's another perfect example of why you can't really look at the statistics. That's a quality at bat. That ball was roped. Yes, you're out. Yes, did you get the sacrifice? But
Still,
yeah,
probably the hardest hit ball of the game.
100%.
Almost took off the glove, actually, Wilson and Wright.
Here's Cara Daly. 8 of the 9 in the lineup have scored today from Missouri. Seven different Tigers were at the plate to drive in runs. And this was all after they fell behind 5-0 in the second inning.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really big turning point in the game. They could have absolutely folded, especially after being run-ruled the game earlier by Florida State. You know, being able to fight back, put that 5 spot up themselves, that's just renewed energy. That's kind of college softball these days. You're never out of it.
Clemson may have to do the same if they can't get back into this one. They have to bounce right back. They play Virginia next here on the Deuce. Scheduled for 4 Eastern.
Short memory, right? Memory of the goldfish.
We were at the lovely Clearwater Aquarium last night. I do feel like we've developed a greater sense of back and forth with the goldfish. Daly, swing and a miss, but it gets away from Vieira.
Melanchek has that really good drop ball, and this one's going to show up at about 42 feet, and Vieira going to go off of the glove, doesn't use her body to try to block that. Don't blame her. That's a tough pitch to be able to handle behind the dish, but with 2 strikes, it's going to allow the runner to get to first.
Hill. They'll get the lead runner to retire the side. Another run in, though, 10-5 Mizzou.
Years. Definitely the player to watch.
Well, it's immediately turned Jerry Glasgow in his first season there with Texas Tech. A lot of other good transfers that he brought with him from Louisiana. They are a contender in the Big 12. Oklahoma State is the preseason favorite. Pokes have been to the World Series with Kenny Gajewski 5 years in a row. They are in town. We'll see them throughout the weekend. Check swing from Collins. That's in play to short. Daly, 1 down. It's time to pickle, people. Pickleball Slam 3 is Sunday in Las Vegas this year, featuring Steffi Graf, Andre Agassi, Jeannie Bouchard, and Andy Roddick. Wow. Our coverage will begin at 4 Eastern on ESPN. Sweeping the nation. Pickleball and flag football, hot right now. Hot. Vieira down to 1 knee to make the catch as Abruscato 2 down. McCann trying to take care of the bottom of the order. This was the damage done with Ava Wilson. And the grand slam out of the 9-hole in the order back in the second inning to give Clemson a 5-0 lead, and it's been all Missouri Tigers since. And that hitter.
Really had settled in. This is a rise ball that just gets away from her a little bit, trying to come from that right side underneath the lefty hands, and just rides it a little bit too far inside. Maybe a little chin music for that granny salami that she gave him.
Yeah, she's not usually throwing inside lefties as much, right? No.
2 outs. Push her back, lean her back.
Back her up.
Back her up.
What are you saying?
Anderson
Girls and players too. We can.
Oh, look at Smitty dropping.
Look at you with the pop culture reference.
Sometimes when you're in that circle, you get a little feisty.
Yeah.
See if McCann can get through the inning. A second ago, we saw Taylor Pinnell, their closer, getting ready in the pen. Base runner here, and now the top of the order. See if Clemson can get something cooking.
That she's definitely using that changeup more effectively. 49 miles an hour. It's not being picked. She's not tipping it. Complete game changer when you have the ability to really mix those velocities as well as locations.
Well, Larissa Anderson was telling us in the break, too, that, I mean, that was what Clemson was doing, is she went out there, like, they're picking your change. They're not hitting it. And I think that does give you confidence of, like, you can make this adjustment
100%.
Not to give it away. The pitch is working. But if they know it's coming, then they're going to hit it.
1-1 to Brown. She gets a hold of one. Deep center, and room to maneuver for Langer. Side retired. Missouri in front. They've created a lot of chaos on the base paths with their short game, and things have clicked. They have scored 10 unanswered runs and have the advantage into the bottom of the sixth. They're 3 outs away from a win.
Abby Hayes done a good job. They moved her down from game 1 down into the 6th spot here. She's been on base all 3 times today, but 3 walks.
Here's Abby Hay. 0-2. Hay has walked all 3 times she's come up, scored twice. 2-2. Full count. Hey, swinging away. Could be extras all the way to the base of the wall, and Abby will head for second with the stand-up double. How about the leadoff batter reaching all 6 innings now for Missouri?
Well, and for Abby Hay, too, I mean, her first 3 at-bats are walks. She's been able to work the count. This one gets full, takes a pitch that she actually inside outs opposite field. And that's the difference. Hay, last game to this game, is the patience to get her pitch. That's why she ended up on base with walks until she got the pitch she could hit right there.
Well, Jeff Cockrell talks about the fact that sometimes she's in neutral. He wants her to be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive with her swing. Those walks, maybe the confidence to be able to go out there and just let it rip on a good pitch. But you mentioned it, inside out, gets the ball to the wall.
Got a pinch hitter here, Cadence Shepard, in the 7th spot in the order. Takes a look at a strike. Slow roller outside the line. This is the first at-bat of the season for Cadence. freshman out of Blue Springs, Missouri. And is the closer getting ready to come on. RBI opportunity for Cadence. 1-2, slow roller to third. Browns only plays first and not in time. Infield hit for Shepard.
It's a slow developing play and a little bit of a jam job on Shepard, but I love the way that Abby Hay is knowing this is going to be a tough play and nobody going to be at third base. Tight play over at first. No replay here in Clearwater. I don't know if that might have been overturned if there was. Another opportunity for Missouri.
Here's Langer. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Pops it up. Collins, one down. Third game of our doubleheader still to come. Clemson back in action. Taking on the Auburn Tigers. More Tigers on Tigers. Bunt is Cahalan, and that's a good one. Bases are loaded with one out. And the top of the order coming up.
Cahalan does a really good job of getting this bunt down, and I think right now Clemson was a little bit worried about whether or not it was a squeeze play coming at home, and that's where as a defender you've got to be thinking first base all the way until you hear going, then your attention goes to third. Plus you got to know who's on third. Abby Hay is probably not going to be in a squeeze situation.
It looked like Brown looked to Vieira for a visual cue instead of hearing her voice and just throwing to first.
And that's, you know, learning, like being able to understand exactly. And she's a senior.
Watch, it looks like she's going to look to home before throwing to first, right there.
Right there, you can see, look at her eyesight is right at home, and even before she picked it up, she was trying to see if Abby Hay was coming out of the
That's got to be audio cues.
100%.
Bases loaded. Crenshaw, who's been their most dangerous hitter by far today in their doubleheader. Has reached base 6 of her 7 plate appearances. 4 hits, a couple of walks. Again, it's the bottom of the order. Starting the rally. Chopped to short. Collins will make the play home for 1, down to first, not in time. They get the lead runner, 2 outs.
Crenshaw mad at herself.
The offense today for Missouri, their season high with 10 runs, 8 different players with a hit. And look at the leadoffs. 2 hits and 4 walks.
8 different players, including a freshman, Cadence Shepard, her first at bat of the season, got a hit. First bat of her college career. Getting everyone off the bench in the game.
Here's Madison Walker, base is still loaded. 2 down. Already had one grand slam in the game, that one coming from Clemson. And that is popped up and snared by Maddie Moore. Threat ends. Last chance coming up for Clemson as we head to the top of the 7th.
Offensive field over here, the pitcher's field over there, wind blowing out on this side, blowing in over there.
Yeah.
It's 2 very different games so far. 4 through, 2 here, 2 there.
Last chance here for Clemson. They led this game 5-0 and 10 unanswered runs for Missouri, and now the Tigers from Como are 2 outs away. Hey, we've got gymnastics this week, and we're featuring the last 2 national champs and the top 2 programs in the country. Number 1, Oklahoma. Number 2, LSU. Friday at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. That's big time right there in the gym in an SEC showdown now. Moore gets a hold of it. No doubter. Smashes that one out of the park. Solo shot makes it 10-6.
That's a home run for Maddie Moore.
Her first of the year.
Hit a triple back in the 2nd inning that was off the wall out in right field. And this one, she gets a pitch up in the zone. We talk about their adjustments on the rise ball. This one kind of just left. She knew it right away. Finger going up. Remember, she did not play last weekend, so this is her first game of the season. She's been hot. A triple and a home run there.
Yeah, and just that triple first pitch swinging. Home run, first pitch swinging. Just attacking early in the count. You can tell that's where she really has that power, showing the guns off as she comes across home.
Here's Julia Noller. First baseman's 0 for 3 today. See if that'll give them a little boost heading into the rest of the weekend. And maybe they won't wait for the rest of the weekend. Noller extra base hit, and they're getting after Marissa McCann. And is it time for Missouri to bring on their closer?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably an opportunity to try to go to the pen. This pitch is sweet. It's right down the middle, and it just gets tattooed. So after the Maddie Moore home run, Noller doubled down the line. End the day for McCann, who was really outstanding after giving up that 5 spot, settled in until here in the 7th.
So they will turn to Taylor Pinnell, who last year tied the NCAA single-season saves record. And she will be out there trying to close it down for Mizzou when we come back. So perhaps the best-known closer in all of college softball as we move more towards pitching staffs with starters, middle relievers, or bridgers and closers. Pinnell set a record last year. She only had 1 blown save. She's already had 2 blown saves early this year. So they are looking to get her back on track here today.
Coach said she's mentally, she's just built to be closer, loves the pressure situation.
And she is facing a pinch hitter, Kennedy Ariel, who has a home run and a couple of runs batted in. The sophomore right-hander to greet her. Taylor Pinnell is the pinch runner now out at second base as they try to rally here in the top of the 7th. Got 2 outs to work with.
You almost want to sit changeup if you're comfortable hitting that pitch. Taylor Pinnell, it's what she's known for, and tries to be smart and unpredictable when she throws it, but that's her best pitch.
This has been part of the issue this year. Working from behind.
Full count.
Is that changeup, Jess?
She gets about 50% swing and miss on that change. 3-2. Got her. 2 down.
Even though Pinnell works backwards in this at-bat, still able to pick up the strikeout because she has that movement. She goes top of the zone, change up, out of the zone to fall behind 2-0. Comes back hard on the corner. A couple more times hard on the corner to go down 3-0. But look, it's the changeup comes back, and then the changeup as the setup for the changeup is the swing and miss. And when you can throw with a great change in velocity as well as some tight spin, it creates that velocity differential and picks up those big strikeouts.
Down to their final out now, and here's Macy Cintron. A single and a couple of strikeouts.
You have to have a plan against Pinnell, too.
Yeah.
One speed or the other, because that changeup's so deceptive. If you are looking for something hard and then try to swing at the change, you got to find one or the other.
Get caught between, and that's the worst place to be.
Well, and then both look that much harder or that much slower.
You're better off sitting change and being late on hard.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to sit hard and then be fooled by the change.
Down to their final strike now, 1-2. Waits on it and drilled right at Walker for the final out of the ball game. 10-6, Missouri a winner over Clemson. 10 unanswered runs after they fell behind 5-0.
Final score for today's game is Missouri 10, Clemson 6.
And their first 5-run comeback since last year. And they go 1-1 in their 2 games today against the ACC. Still to come, Clemson and Auburn. Coming up next, Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Beth Mowens. We'll see you again back here tomorrow morning.